Hey there, it's Dusty Thunder with yet another Reddit story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for leaving my husband at the airport after he took his ex's side over mine? I, 32 female, have been married to my husband, Mike, 34 male, for 4 years. He has a 7-year-old daughter, Emma, with his ex-wife, Laura, 36 female. For the most part, we've had a decent co-parenting situation, but Laura can be difficult. She's very controlling and seems to love reminding me that she's Emma's real mom whenever we disagree about something. Oh, she's one of those. Recently, Emma had a school recital that we all attended. Afterward, Laura mentioned she'd be traveling for work the following weekend, and Mike offered to take Emma for the extra time, which I was fine with, but then Laura joked, "You'd better bring her to the airport when I get back. You always forget the little things." Mike laughed and said, "Yeah, don't worry, I got it. Bring her to the airport when I get back." Okay, I guess we'll find out what that means. Fast forward to the day Laura was returning. Mike and I were supposed to pick her up from the airport with Emma. I was already annoyed because Mike had made me cancel plans I'd had that afternoon so I could come along, but I figured we'd make it quick. When Laura called to say her flight had landed, Mike asked me to sit in the back with Emma so Laura could sit up front. I don't know that that's a smart move, sir. It's certainly not a move that I would ever deploy. I thought he was joking. He wasn't. I was already fuming, but got in the back seat anyway because I didn't want to make a scene in front of Emma. But when Laura got in the car, she made a snide comment like, "It's nice to see that chivalry isn't dead." That was my last straw. I told Mike to stop the car and said I'd take an Uber home because I wasn't about to play chauffeur to his ex-wife. Mike told me I was overreacting and that it was just a seat. I said, "It's not just a seat. It's the way you always prioritize her over me." He pulled over and I got out. I didn't say goodbye, didn't wave, didn't even look back. I Ubered home and didn't hear from him until hours later when he came back furious. He said I embarrassed him and that Laura was just being polite. He accused me of being insecure and making everything harder for Emma. I told him he's the one who makes everything harder by constantly putting his ex-wife's comfort ahead of mine. Now we're barely speaking, and Laura apparently told Emma some version of the story where I abandoned them at the airport because Emma asked me why I was so mad at mommy. What? I'm at my breaking point, but now I'm wondering if I was actually the asshole for making a scene. Comment, NTA, I don't know why she wouldn't want to sit in the back with her child, and I don't understand why your presence was required to go pick her up in the first place, or why her ex-husband is the one retrieving her. OP's response, "Thank you for saying that. It's exactly what I was thinking. I don't mind sitting with Emma. I love spending time with her, but it was the principle of the whole thing, why I was being asked to sit in the back to accommodate her. And honestly, I felt like a third wheel in a situation I didn't even need to be involved in. It's not like Laura is incapable of getting an Uber or arranging her own transportation. She's a grown woman. Plus, it felt weird that Mike insisted I come along, only to then prioritize her comfort over mine. I can't wrap my brain around why he's bending over backwards for her when they've been divorced for years. It's like he's still trying to keep her happy, even at my expense." I would agree. This is not, unless there's some kind of cultural way to explain this away, this is not okay. What he did is not okay in this situation. First of all, like him picking her up it has to be purely for Emma's benefit, right? And his ex even made a comment to that effect, like it's some kind of ritual they have. And if it's some kind of ritual, then fine, whatever. But there was no reason OP had to get dragged along. It's like she was dragged along just to humiliate her, just so her husband could prove a point that he still loves his ex more than her. Like, what is she supposed to feel here? What is she supposed to take away from this? What in this situation makes ex-wife deserve the front seats more than your current wife, sir? What goes through your brain whenever you're making that decision? Because she just returned from a flight and she could use the extra leg room? Is that what you're thinking? I don't understand, but it's dumb. You should never, ever, ever do that. And then to get home all pissed off that she embarrassed you by calling you out for this? Embarrassed what? Embarrassed you in front of your ex? And her opinion matters so much, so what say you, Candy Thunder? If you would never be put in this situation.
Oh, I know.
Nobody puts Candy in the back seat.
Mostly because I would get really car sick in the back seat.
True. However, like I just don't understand what the hell he's thinking here.
It's the part that was really weird to me in the story was that she said, "You're going to bring Emma to the airport to pick me up," but yet felt the need to sit in the front seat because she even commented, "I see chivalry. I can't say that word.
Try it again.
Chivalry is not dead."
You nailed it.
So why wouldn't, if you we're taking the daughter with you to pick her up from the airport because she missed her daughter. Why in the hell would she not want the backseat to be with her child? That was the part that was really confusing to me. Like, it felt, it's a very weird situation. Like, I wouldn't stick around. I would have got out of the car too. Like, this is like, for him to ask you to move to the backseat, just that, like, that line alone is like enough for me to hop out of the car rolling at 5 miles per hour in the airport, like, pickup line.
I wish OP would have been like, you get in the backseat, bitch.
Right.
To her husband.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you want her to have the front seat so bad, go ahead.
Right.
You can sit right back there.
Yeah.
I wonder what he would have said if that were the case.
Obviously this isn't the first time, because she talks about having issues with it. And why are you still there? And she's like, I canceled plans to go with him.
Because he insisted that she go along.
Why? Did he insist? Like, is this some kind of game between the ex-wife and the husband where they're like, their marriage wasn't spicy enough, so they're like, go out and do this, and then we'll, like, it just seems so weird. Like, I'm trying to wrap my brain around it, and I do not understand it.
Who was Jess's, like, the uber rich dude who...
Right, Angel?
Whose ex was Uli, remember?
Oh,
Russell.
yeah, Russell.
This is like Russell and Uli. This is what this feels like. There's some kind of intense, like, heat passion still there. Yeah. And it's like you're just a placeholder, OP. You're just there to... Because they were so, like, toxic passionate that, like, they couldn't survive together, right? So it's like they still have a relationship, but you're just the placeholder there at home. It's weird. I don't think anybody would stand for this. I think every
Russell's
respecting person would.
Uli's all right. Just been a little weird.
Surrender. I don't know. It'd be bullshit to anybody.
Right.
And I can't imagine that he's going to find somebody who is willing to take this position in life where he just constantly humiliates them and makes them feel less than.
No, that's a shit life. That's a shit life for anyone to be involved in. You would never do that to me. I would never do that to you.
No, I can't imagine us ever doing that to each other, just in general.
No, and my ex has been in the car, and I wasn't like, hey, get in the back seat. Don't sit. That would hurt you so bad. And you were driving, like, and he was riding with us, but it wasn't like a weird thing.
And if there was a need, I would offer. I would be the first one to offer and be like, I'll hop in the back. That's fine.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
Yeah.
But it's like being ordered to move back there so somebody's ex can sit there. That's just
Carol said
bullshit.
She's the live-in nanny. Yes, that's what I'm wondering. I'm like, is this some kind of sick, twisted, like, game to them where they're, like, still doing it on the side? I don't know. It seems weird. And maybe she is the nanny because she says that she enjoys, like, the time and stuff that she spends with the kids. So
it feels like Emma's just being dragged along for what is still very much a toxic relationship.
And I can't understand, like, getting off a plane after not seeing my kids and wanting to sit in the front next to my husband.
Yeah.
Like, I'd be in the back seat.
Ex-husband.
Yeah, ex-husband. I mean, I'm confused at this point, so I'm not sure. Seems like they're in a throuple. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going on, but this is too much. It's too much.
You can't be in a throuple if one person didn't consent to being in a throuple. That just means
Tina,
she's getting cheated on.